My father, Muhammad Abdul Razak, had come before us in 1955, working in the factories, then as a bus conductor, later as a market trader, where he also had me helping him.
He was one of the lucky ones. He was educated in Pakistan, and he actually came from an office environment. He used to work for ICI as a clerk in Karachi. But when he came over here, they weren't allowed to get any jobs with positions really. They had to work in the factories. Either I think Dad worked at Catton's Foundry, Kirkstall Forge, those sort of areas. Back in the early 60s, my dad's weekly wage was, with overtime, was £5. I think the standard wage was about £3.5, £3.10. And then with overtime, whatever, he got about £5, which is a real bonus. And we were rich when we got £5 a week. And my mum could do the weekly shopping in £1. And the brothers between them, they ran the 2 shifts and had the 1 bicycle. My dad would bike to work. My dad would get on the bike, come back home. So while my dad was working. Then when my dad was ready to start his shift, he'd go back on the bike. And my dad would go. So the bike was always home, but it was used to transport them backwards and forwards. For my dad, I don't think I remember him in the early days ever wearing a salwar kameez. He would wear trousers and shirts because this is what was expected in those days. Okay, I mean, this is well over 50 years old. Must be getting to 60 years old now. In those days, you couldn't buy a tawa here, so if you needed to cook chapatis, you had to make it yourself. My dad made this, and all it is the sheet metals that they used to have in the foundry. You got somebody to cut a circle out. He then welded a handle to it, and that's still going. And it's been used. My mum used it, my wife used it, my daughter uses it. So alhamdulillah, you can see it's not perfectly plain, but it did the job. When you used to go to get a market stall, the rule was that from about 8 o'clock you started to stand, and as you came, they put your name down. So the first one's got the first empty stall, and the second one got the second empty stall. But if you're Asian, you had to wait till all the white guys had got the stalls, and then you were given it. It didn't matter what time you came. If you were the very first in line, you still didn't get a stall till after all the white guys had got it.
Father was a character who contributed to the founding of the first masjid in Leeds, the Jinnah Mosque, and he openly and eagerly supported and signposted newcomers from Pakistan and assisted those people and the community in the organisation of Asian film screenings and so social gatherings to maintain our culture and social status, I suppose. His drive for social activities firmly instilled within me and is what drives me towards striving for equality and justice.